Welcome to our weekly MLM Mastermind. And today we're talking about goal setting, and it's for MLM leaders only, right, Dennis?
Well, of course. I mean, only MLM leaders set goals, right?
Of course, isn't that?
Well, maybe not, but we can discuss it.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, so if you think that only leaders are the ones that are setting goals, how are you ever going to be a leader if you haven't got goals? It's kind of that endless.
Kind of that catch-22 chicken and egg thing.
Yeah. So,
all right.
So we're gonna talk about some things now, and we're gonna do this at a little bit different approach than we've done in the past. You probably heard go and make a list of all the things that you love, and
we're gonna make you do that too.
We are, but we're gonna go. We're gonna tell you the secret to actually doing this correctly. And
the secret is actually that it isn't just for leaders. The secret is that goal setting is an absolutely critical component for you to become a leader. So you need to be setting goals because that's going to reinforce and give you your why. That's going to be what gets you through the day when you get a couple of rejections. So the secret is that goal setting is actually a key component to becoming a leader.
Yes, it is. Sorry, I'm just having to adjust things as we've got a couple different things going. And hi, everybody there on Webinar Jam. Feel free to message us. It'll be hard if you're messaging us live on Facebook right now. It'll be hard for us to be able to reply to you, but we do have the everything set up.
That's right.
So, we will reply afterwards to any questions.
That's right.
That's the cool thing about Facebook Live. So let's walk you through a few goal setting exercises.
Yeah, because there's a couple of different ways you can look at it. And some people will respond to writing down a list of all of the things like we're going to take you through. And some people may just respond better to the average day type of goal setting. So let's start right in with the actual, what are goals? What are goals?
Okay, that's a good thing to go. So start with writing down what you hope to achieve in all aspects of your life.
Exactly. And here's where it gets tricky. Somehow people get involved in multi-level marketing and they think that multi-level marketing is all about how much money they're going to make. And they only focus on the monetary goals. And they just forget that goal setting is actually about changing your life and maybe using network marketing as the vehicle to help you change that life.
Right.
So when you're setting goals, you got to cover everything. So let's go through some of the things that you might want to cover.
Let's do that. So business goals would be a good start.
And a business goal might also be a work goal, right?
Could be.
So
think about goals in your current job or your business, whether it's getting a promotion.
Another promotion, more money, more time off, that 5th weeks of holidays. What are your goals within your current job or business? And maybe your current goal in your business is to get out of your current business. Maybe your current goal in your job is to get out of your current job. Whatever it is for you, write down the kind of things that you would like to see happen in your professional career or your business career or your small business career or your MLM career, if you're a full-time networker.
And let's talk about that too. And many people think they quit, and this happens, and I was going to bring this up as an aside, they leave their real job or their current job or business too quickly to jump into MLM.
Yeah.
So it's just good to say, look, MLM is designed to be done on a part-time basis.
That's right.
We know it's been an hour a day.
An hour a day. I think I've heard that domain, HourADay.com.
So, yes, it's really important to understand that, if you quit too soon, first of all, you're putting too much pressure on yourself.
That's right.
So if your goal in your current job is to be able to maybe do less hours in your current job, maybe be able to work from home with your current job, maybe to take, not have to make as much money because you're making more money from your MLM business. Those are really good goals, but don't make your goal, I want to quit my job tomorrow to go full-time into my MLM.
Well, and we're going to sort of get into that. You can have your goal to quit your job, but then you better have an appropriate timeline that's backed up with an appropriate plan of how much effort is going to be required to actually make that happen. So it can't just be, I want to quit tomorrow.
No.
Unless you're going to win the lottery, you're probably not going to be able to quit tomorrow with MLM.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. And then let's talk about goals in your MLM business.
Exactly. So if you're already in MLM, then you need goals that are related to your MLM business. Rank advancement. When do you want to be the next rank in your comp plan?
Yeah. Monthly income.
Gotta have money goals.
That's probably going to be linked to your rank advancement.
It is and it isn't. I mean, when you get up to the top, it can be a long ways between ranks, but income levels, I think they're both independent.
And it all does go around to sponsoring new members and new customers.
And my favorite goal for me, when I finally made real money in MLM, and I didn't even realize it was a goal until it happened, and I realized it would forever be my goal. And that was how many people in my team I wanted to see making what kind of income. And I was like, if I could build a team that 10 people were making $100,000 a year or more, that would feel really good. So I actually didn't focus on how much I would make.
Yeah.
I was more focused on how do I help 10 people make $100,000 a year. And yeah, it did feel good.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about personal development goals. So, I mean, remember, you don't have all the skills that you need probably right now to be able to build your MLM business. If you do, you know, that's great, you know, but we're always learning new things.
That's right. And that, you know, your personal development goals could be you want to be the best piano player around. That's fine.
Yeah.
Right. You got to have goals. They don't have to be tied to making money. They don't have to be tied to your MLM business. They just need to be your personal goals that you want to achieve before you die.
Right.
So fitness goals, I mean, they're a number one thing. A lot of people say, oh yeah, but I got fat because now I go to the office and I just don't have the time to exercise and I sit all day long, and you hear excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. So maybe for you to hit your fitness goals, you need to first hit your income goals to replace your job so you don't have that excuse, or just stop using it as an excuse and make the time to exercise and eat well. But fitness goals, absolutely.
We were just talking about it today. Just decrease your diet by 250 calories a day.
We'll end up in a 26-pound
weight
reduction
loss
in your waist in a year.
In a year, yeah. Just 250 calories a day.
They said 2/3 of a Starbucks chocolate something or other cookie.
There you go.
So you can only eat a third now.
So other goals would be mindset goals.
Yeah, I mean, you got to decide. Are you happy with the fact that when you get a negative reaction on the phone, it drives you to want to go hide under the covers in bed? Or are you going to learn how to work on your mindset to not have that happen? Are you happy when someone at work does something that makes you feel bad, that you let them rent space in your head and you feel bad? Remember, people shouldn't be able to make you feel bad, because that's up to you how you interpret what they did.
Yeah.
So if your mindset isn't strong enough, then maybe you want to work on your mindset so you don't have some of these negative things that you think are happening to you when in fact you're actually allowing them to happen to you.
Exactly. And maybe it's a meditation goal.
Maybe you want to be yogi sitting on a mat going, oh, mom. And if that's all for you, that's really cool. And I mean, I bought the Muse headband thing to help me learn to meditate, because I was just curious, what is meditation? You read all you want about meditation. I didn't know what it felt to be meditating. So there was this really cool thing called the Muse. Shameless plug, it's pretty cool. And you put it on your head and it plays some soft music and it sort of tells you what to do. And if the sound is dark and stormy, you're not meditating. But when the birds come out and chirp, you've hit a meditative state. So all of a sudden I'm cruising along on about my third session and the birds don't stop chirping. And then I started to think too much about how cool it was and how good I was doing. I was killing this test, and the storms came back. So anyways, I learned to meditate with a really cool machine. So if that's part of your goals, then, hey, what do you need to meditate? You need some time. You need to take some time. Maybe you need some space. Maybe you want to be on the beach. Whatever. Meditation's a goal. Do meditation.
Yeah, self-improvement, including education or training. Some of that training may be from your company. It may be
maybe you want to run marathons. Yeah. Maybe you want to be a better networker. Maybe you want to be a better spouse. Maybe you want to be a better dog owner. Whatever it is, self-improvement.
You know, and you're always learning new things. I mean, you know, I worked for a tiny little fast food restaurant for 10 years with Golden Arches, and
that's the one with the M, right?
Yeah, and in every manager's office there was a plaque. There was from Ray Kroc, the owner, the founder of McDonald's, that when you're green, you're growing. When you're ripe, you're rot.
Yep. And
it's so true. I mean, you know, be a lifelong learner. Always learn. We're always learning new things. I mean, you know, especially with new things happening in social media and
the world
technology, it changes every second.
We have millennials; they get a trophy for showing up. So you need to learn how to deal with that.
Yeah. So let's talk about other goals that are completely not monetary. Relationship goals. Although I guess relationship goals could be monetary.
Well, they could be monetary. They could be you need to have a bit better income so you can take more time to spend with your spouse to help your relationship get better. They could be any of those things.
It could
right?
be as simple as get a boyfriend.
Get a boyfriend or girlfriend.
If you're single, that could be a goal.
Get married.
Maybe it's not.
Maybe it's about getting married.
Having children.
Having children.
Thank goodness I've done that one. Okay.
Maybe your goal is simply to wake up every morning and hug your spouse, because that might just fix some problems in your relationship.
Or kiss your spouse.
Maybe you want to kiss her every day. Kiss him every day.
That could
You
be
know
it.
what? Sounds really stupid, but I bet there's a lot of people watching that do not kiss or hug their spouse every single day. There's days where you don't. You should be doing it often. Anyway.
That's right. You know, maybe it's a little bit more action behind closed doors, or a little less.
Maybe you want to be having more sex. Maybe you want to be having less sex, right? But the reality is it's part of life. And if you're not having sex, maybe it's because you're too busy or you don't have enough money or whatever it is. If you got these goals, once you've got it as a goal, then of course we're going to work towards a plan on how to get you there.
Right. Maybe it's, the goal is to buy premium dog food for your dog because, your dog is your family. And
maybe that's your relationship.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay.
You treat them like you want to treat them like a human, and you want to get the best dog food there is on the market, but you can't afford it right now. So maybe that's one of your goals. So this is the thing. Goals are for you. We can't tell you what your goals are. They're extremely personal.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there are material goals.
There's lots of material goals.
There are. I mean, so could be a car.
Lots of people have a goal of a car.
Could be a house.
And lots of people want a bigger house, better house, a different house, living in a different place, on the beach, not on the beach, in a skyscraper, not in a skyscraper. That could be it.
Yeah.
Designer clothes, regular clothes, just clothes.
Yeah. Luxury items. Could be a nice watch.
Better glasses, Armani suit, whatever it may be. These are potential things you have goals. Now, don't go overboard with these, because if you live your life right and you do build yourself a very large network marketing organization, these just sort of come with it, right? In fact, lots of times your company will give them to you for reaching certain ranks.
Right. So, it's important to know. I mean, if you do have those goals, there's a special car that you want, awesome. go get a picture of that car.
That's
go on the internet, find a picture.
Better yet, go to the dealership, sit down in it, get them to take a picture of you.
Yeah.
Take a picture
print that off
from sitting in the driver's seat with your camera so you remember it. You got to have goals.
Yeah, they're out there. Now, there's also family goals. So,
family goals.
Maybe it's about having, maybe you want to have another child. Maybe that's your goal.
Maybe you want to have 2 children. Maybe your goal is to have 2 children. And maybe you're not married yet. So, eventually we're going to start talking about the sequence of all this stuff. But, what is your goal in the term of family? Do you want to have children? Do you already have children? Do you want more children? Sorry, you can't have less children.
I should have just
kind of clock committed once you have them.
Because I got a grandson now. I should have just skipped children and went right to grandchildren. Yeah. It was so much easier, folks, if you just skip the kids all together. Yeah, it's kind of hard.
You won't appreciate the grandkids as much, though.
What is it? Taking annual vacations with as a family, or maybe it's biannual, or maybe it's monthly vacations.
Maybe it's every weekend.
Yeah, could be.
Or maybe it's having enough money that you can shove the kids off to private school so that you don't have to go on vacations. We don't know what it is for you. Everybody's different.
Exactly. Maybe it's to spend more time with the grandchildren.
Right.
Because it's a lot more fun with the grandchildren.
And maybe it's that you really want to send your kids to grandma and grandpa's for 3 weeks of the year. Goals are personal.
There you go. Maybe you want your child to become a doctor.
Or a dentist.
Yeah, there you go.
Or a network marketer.
Yeah. My son, that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing right now. He's pre-med at UBC. That's a great goal. It's an expensive goal. It's a long goal, but boy, oh boy, I'm glad he's doing it and I'm not.
That's right.
Yeah, that wasn't my goal. That was his.
No, but network marketing will help you to facilitate his goal.
There you go. Exactly.
Travel
goals. That's always a good one. Why not? We got to maybe you want to go somewhere exotic. Maybe you've never been to Fiji. It's your goal to go to Fiji.
So write it down.
Or maybe it's Antarctica to go see the whales. I don't know. You could have some weird goals,
or maybe you want to travel so much that you become the platinum level of your preferred airline's frequent flyer club. That's a goal.
Maybe you want to get a pin in 100 different countries that you've been to of all the flags, and you want to do that.
Hey, I saw this thing on Facebook. It's this rollout scratchy map. So you roll this thing out, and as you go to a country, you take your coin like a scratch and win lottery ticket, and you scratch off that country, so you know where you've been. Pretty cool.
There you go. So maybe that's it. Now, there's other goals.
Food goals.
Why not? This is the goal.
Right?
I do like to eat.
Maybe you want to buy better food for your home, right? You just would like to buy organic, or you want to buy more expensive cuts of meat or whatever. That's a legitimate goal. I want to up the level of the food I eat.
Maybe you have your goal to have a personal chef that comes in and does that all for you. That's not a bad thing. Maybe you want to dine out more often, or dine out less often and eat more at home.
You know, because we sit here talking like everybody wants more and more and more of these things like dining out. I can tell you that in my life, I travel a lot. So when I come home, the first thing on my mind is not dining out. No. I've been dining out with network marketers and network marketing companies that are taking me out for the best food and the best everything and everything that goes with being a leader in MLM. And when I come home, I kind of want to have poached eggs on toast. Sorry. Or I kind of want to order pizza from my favorite pizza place. Like, I don't want fancy. I don't want to go out. I want to put my feet up on the coffee table, sit on my couch, watch my TV, catch up with my PVR, and eat something that's probably really, really plain and boring.
It can be. So, I mean, then,
what are your goals?
What about, philanthropic goals? I mean, we do like to give back. I mean, at least you would hope that as you're being successful, there's a great feeling to be able to go and give back, to donate money to your favorite charity.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? Donating money to your charity or donating time to your charity. If you don't have money, donate time. It's probably, in a lot of charities, time is actually probably a more valuable donation to them than money. Right? Because you always need the volunteer squad. You always need the people to do it, because you can never get enough money to afford to pay them all. So you need those volunteers. Be one of those volunteers when you start. Eventually give them some money so that they can have people to organize more volunteers, do a drive to get more volunteers, whatever it may be. But yeah, goals include giving back.
Now remember, goals need to have a deadline, otherwise they're just wishes.
That's right.
Okay, so goals
and
are wishes with a deadline.
they have to be a realistic deadline. Again, you can't say I plan to make $100,000 a month in my MLM business tomorrow. That's not realistic, so that doesn't count as a goal. I plan to make $100,000 a month within the next 6 years in my MLM business is probably a very realistic goal.
Yeah, it took you a little longer to do that. It took you
what, me 10 years.
Yeah. Terrible, isn't it? Awful. To make $1 million a year.
I suck so horribly. It's terrible.
But you were making six figures. You were making high six figures.
I was making a couple of grand a month right from the beginning, and then it sort of went up a little bit, and then eventually it started to go really crazy and stupid. So it's not like you make nothing the whole time you're learning, right? You're earning while you learn. And yeah, if it took you 10 years to make $1 million in 1 year, would you be further behind doing that than whatever you're doing now? Probably not.
That's right. But here's where a lot of people miss the point. They miss the point that you need to write down the things that are going to prevent you from reaching your goals.
Well, correct, because this becomes your dummy list of what you're a dummy about, right? So if your goal is to be the best piano player around and you've never taken a piano lesson, then one of the things that would prevent your goal of becoming the best piano player ever is that you don't know how to play the piano. So you got to work on that first. Yep. You got to learn to do it before you can be the best at it.
That's right.
And I think that's true of anything. You have to figure out what's in the way of you having a possibility of achieving that goal.
A lot of times, just take a picture of yourself and put it right in front of you.
That's right. Or just go look in the mirror.
Yeah, look in the mirror. That's usually the number one reason.
Hey, that's like a mirror. That's me right there.
Yeah, geez, and down there, and
geez,
we're all over the place.
Oh my God!
But a lot of times you're preventing yourself. Your mindset is preventing your own success.
That's right. Or you haven't sat down to realize that, yes, I have this goal. Like, again, in MLM, I want to make $10,000 a month in MLM. Okay, but I'm scared to pick up the phone and talk to people. So that's a skill you're going to have to get. I don't know how to invite properly. So that's a skill you're going to have to get.
Yeah.
I don't like doing presentations in front of a whole bunch of people. Then you better have an upline who does, or pick up that skill. So I mean, here we go. I want to be a race car driver. Oh, I have a Toyota Tercel. Okay, well, we got some obstacles, right? So you got to sort of look at your goals and see what's in the way of getting this goal, and be really honest with yourself, because this is ugly, right? We all want to believe we can do anything, and we can if we identify the things that are getting in the way of our goal and fix those problems. Yeah. Then we can achieve the goal.
Exactly.
Sounds
got to do that. Enough. You also need to write down the skills or the education that you're going to need to achieve these goals. So what's preventing you? So now you know what's holding you back. So what skills? And we're hoping that you can come join us every week, and
we'll help you with the MLM skills.
We help you. And we give a lot of life skills and stuff like that too. It's not just all about direct selling and MLM.
In other words, we talk a lot.
We do. I mean, it's about giving. It's been a great industry for us for over 20 years.
Yep.
And the least we can do is share some of the insights that we've, some of the mistakes that we made.
Yep.
We made a lot of mistakes. Boy, oh boy, if we would have had this video.
I call it failing forward. I refuse to say they're mistakes.
There you go. Learning experiences.
That's right.
Had a lot of those.
Yes.
And if we can shortcut your, and fast track your way to success, why not?
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's what we're here for.
What we're here for.
Why it's free. It's here every week. Share it with your friends. Share it with your downline.
Oh, and some people say we talk too fast. So if you just go get Enounce from Enounce.com, it'll let you slow us down. Just saying.
Oh, there you go. So you got something new. Now, this is really kind of what we're going to talk about here. And
this is sort of this is almost like the opposite way of deciding what your goals should be. Instead of this itemized engineering type list, this is more for the touchy-feely people, I think.
Okay. What is your perfect average day?
Exactly. Not your best day.
No, not the best day in the world. No, the best day in the world. You meet all your famous, all the celebrities that you're watching, and this happens.
In Tahiti, standing on the beach with the sun setting perfect.
Getting married to, to Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. Doesn't matter.
He was married.
No, if it's your perfect day, does it?
It doesn't matter. That's right.
So it's not your perfect day.
Right.
This is your perfect average. This is your Groundhog Day.
Exactly.
That you could personally
live
over.
If it happened day after day after day for the rest of your life, you'd be thinking you have a pretty swell life.
Right. So we're taking you to the hardest part of goal setting. So let's look at it from a different perspective.
Again, this touchy-feely, what's your perfect
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a second to imagine a plan. I want you to just close your eyes. You're listening to us. You don't have to see us to do this. Close your eyes and imagine a plan for your perfect average day. So think about what time you're going to get up in the morning.
I know that answer. When I wake up and feel like getting up. That's my perfect. The beginning of my perfect day involves waking up when I'm tired of sleeping.
You mean it doesn't involve an alarm on your phone waking you up?
I've lived a privileged life, and I don't think even now more than 4 times a year, and that's usually for golfing, that I have an alarm wake me up.
So what is the very first thing? Now you figured out what time you're going to wake up. You wake up when your body wakes up and you feel like getting out of bed.
Or maybe for your goal is to wake up at 6 o'clock every morning so you don't waste the day, or 4:30 in the morning, because that's what the guys in the military do. And you've heard that's good because Facebook said so. Right?
There you go.
Whatever it is, what's your time to wake up? And then once you've woken up, what's the first thing you want to do?
That's right. You going to kiss your dog? Your cat?
Possibly. Your cat.
Girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse. Yeah. I mean, could be. I mean, what is it? What's the first thing you're going to do?
That could be the first thing you want to do. That could be what makes you happiest, is to wake up and acknowledge the person sleeping, acknowledge the thing sleeping beside you. Hang on. Well, because how do you go person and dog?
Anyway, it could be both.
Well, you got a lot of kissing to do. You might have a dog, a cat, and a wife.
To me, first thing I like to do is go tinkle, but that's just, usually on my list of things to do. I mean, the things you've got to do there. I mean,
or do you bolt out of bed and go to the gym for a workout? Maybe that's what you want to do. This is your perfect day, not ours.
Yeah, maybe it's yoga.
Maybe
that's what you want to do first thing in the morning. What is it? You want to just roll over and be lazy? I like that.
You just don't want to get out of bed.
I like that one.
Just because you woke up doesn't mean you have to get out of bed. You might want to grab your cell phone and play on Facebook for half an hour or 45 minutes or until you're done.
Yeah, maybe.
Why do we have to have time?
Maybe it's, click the button and you got a big screen television in your room and you get caught up. You start watching, either that or the
room service. Oh.
A lot of things you can do. Maybe you want to walk out of your bedroom to the patio, take the stairs down to the beach and go for a walk.
Hang on. There's a lot of implying stuff there. So are you telling me that my perfect day involves living on the beach in a nice house that I can walk out to the beach through my bedroom?
Folks, I'm looking at the beach right now from Dennis's window.
The only problem is I need a zip line because I am on the 20th floor.
Okay, yeah, I'm watching people walk on the boardwalk, on the seawall. Okay, so yeah, all right.
So what would your perfect day be?
Exactly. And now once you've done your first thing.
Probably getting a bit peckish. Unless the first thing was to jump up and eat.
Yeah. But now it's probably time to think about breakfast.
Yep.
You know, I mean, think about that. Are you going to go out?
Go out? Yeah. Run down. I mean, I got the Provence restaurant just over there. They do the best brunch. It's like a block and a half away.
Yes, Dennis. Dennis lives right downtown Vancouver. One of the most beautiful cities in the world. Some of those beautiful views.
Everything's close by.
Heck, I mean, it's so close. I mean, even just on Friday, I was on a mountain skiing on the last day of skiing at Cypress Mountain.
Right.
You know, it took a couple of hours off because guess what? You can do that when you got and went out with my son and went skiing. Now, granted, I went down a Black Diamond accidentally. That wasn't fun, but it was still a fun day.
Yes.
Except it took me 45 minutes to go down the one run.
Right.
But anyways, we digress. Are you going to cook your own breakfast? Or
maybe your whole thing in life is cooking. So getting up and spending a bunch of time to cook your breakfast is awesome.
Yeah.
Great. You can do that every day if you want.
Yeah. I love to cook. And I do the eggs Benny. I went to do poached eggs on toast, man. It's going to be eggs Benny and a little shrimp.
I got fitness goals. And fitness goals would get in the way of the eggs Benny, and that's why it's poached eggs on toast. I love poached eggs.
There you go. I mean, maybe you're going to be your personal chef is going to create.
They're going to come cook breakfast for you.
Right. Now, breakfast done. What's next?
What's next?
I mean, really?
Maybe you just want to go back and read a book on the couch.
Why not?
Beach.
On the beach. Go shopping? Okay, come on. Who wants to shop? Everybody, who wants to shop? Shopping's great. Maybe it's a business goal. Maybe your perfect day is to do 3-way calls with your team because you got an exploding team right now.
And I'll be honest, I threw this in because we all assume that everybody's goal is to stop working. When I was actively building a team in MLM, I didn't wake up in the morning and try to figure out how not to work. Even though I didn't really have to do anything to keep earning my money once it came in, I was excited to get on the phone and work with people. So it was actually fun for me. So we can't always assume that people's goals will be to not work.
Right.
Maybe you love your job. Maybe you're a social worker and you love your job, and your whole goal in life is to be able to do that without worrying about the fact that you don't get paid very well for doing it. See, it's your goals. It's not our goals.
Right. Maybe you just want to go to Starbucks and meet your friends and have coffee. And now that you're starting to have coffee, and that,
now what do we do for lunch?
I guess you got to think about.
Well, we're kind of there now.
We're kind of there. I mean, going to go back home.
Lunch at home.
Friends,
wife,
spouse. Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah. By yourself?
You're buying them gourmet dog food.
Might as well. There you go. So now start thinking about your afternoon. I mean, what we're trying to do here as you're planning your perfect average day
that you'd be happy to do over and over and over until you die.
Right. What do you do in the afternoon? You know, you're going to donate some of your time to a charity.
Do some volunteer work.
Yeah. Maybe it's meditation.
With your Muse headband.
Yeah. Maybe it's a nap.
A nap. Maybe you love an afternoon
There's
nap.
nothing wrong with a nice little siesta.
No, not at all.
Some cultures, it's like mandatory.
Yeah, I got to move.
You know, I mean, maybe you want to go out with your friends and have a drink in the afternoon.
Or with your spouse.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Or for the lucky people, you're the kind of person who wants to go out with your spouse and your friends at the same time. We don't want to exclude anyone here. These are your goals. We just got to cover all the bases.
Maybe you want to go down to your pool and go for a swim, or to the beach, or to the lake, or
into the ocean, into the lake, whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Dinner time.
Getting hungry again. Sounds like we're eating a lot.
Well,
Perfect day includes a lot of eating.
I mean, at least 3, 4, 5 times a day.
That's it.
That's what you should be doing. I mean, think about your dinner activities. What do you enjoy?
What do you like doing after dinner?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You want to go dancing every day? Oh, you could eat more.
You certainly could. You know, maybe it's just a nice walk in the city, or on the beach, or on the boardwalk,
or through the forest. I had a forest reserve at my old place. We could walk out right through the forest.
There you go.
Maybe you just want to watch movies.
Yeah.
Get friendly with Netflix.
That's it.
Your PVR, DVDs if you still can find them.
That's right. Well,
maybe you just want to watch TV.
And now you got to think about sleep.
It's getting to be bedtime.
Yeah.
Or is it? In your perfect day, is there such a thing as bedtime? Or is there just that time in the day where you end up in bed to go to sleep?
Could be.
We don't need to be reasonable. If you want to be up till 3 a.m. and that's what your perfect lifestyle is, then write down that you would like to go to bed every day at 3 a.m. If you like to be in bed by 9 o'clock at night, then do that.
Yeah.
It's your perfect day.
And remember, it's not a spectacular day. This is not the day of all days that everything happens.
No.
And this is a perfect average day that if you could have a similar day and do it over and over again, you would say
a wonderful life.
Be a wonderful life. It's exactly. So remember that. This is kind of like, this is paradise versus awful. Because we've all had awful days.
That's right.
So, it's really simple. Think about your awful day and do the opposite.
Yeah. And think about if the day that you just planned out happened every single day, would it actually be paradise or would it actually be awful accidentally? Think about it. You might have just planned the perfect day to figure out that if that happened every day, you wouldn't like it so much.
There you go. So the first part of goal setting is you got to have a plan for the paradise days or the dream days, the perfect average day. You got to have a plan of action. So we got to turn your goals into something that you need to do to get to your goals, because if nobody plans to fail.
We just fail to plan.
Exactly. So what is the order that things need to happen in, Dennis, and how important are they to do?
Oh, and that's right. So now we take this great big list that you've created of all your goals, both your religious goals and your family goals and your musical goals and all of these goals. And now we need to come up with an order that's logical for them to occur in. So we're kind of creating a sequence of events. What's the first thing on the list to do? Now, you can't go put the first thing on the list to do is to make $20,000 a month if something on the list has to do with, fixing your broken down car. Because obviously the fixing the broken down car has to happen before you get to the $20,000, right? So this is a sequence of all your goals. You literally have to figure out what's number one on the list.
Yeah.
And it can't be number one on the list being the thing that would logically take 10 years, because that makes no sense.
Right.
So it's not a priority. This is a sequence. Once we're done the sequence, now we go and we prioritize. So now we say on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the most important?
Right.
Because you could end up with the second thing on your sequence is a 10 on priority. Might want to just strike it from your list because it might not be that important to you.
Might not be.
So your big list might turn into a smaller list because you realize, okay, well, I put a bunch of dreams up. They're not actually goals because I actually don't want to spend time doing this before I get to this.
Right. So now what you're really doing is having a literal roadmap on what your goals are for. So
exactly.
now you know what you've got to do. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this.
And you might end up readjusting your sequence based upon your priority once you go look at it all. Right. One column, sequence. Next column, priority. And then you go rejuggle your list. So use Excel so you can do a sort, and you can be playing around with what's first on the sequence versus what's first on the priority.
Now, unfortunately, here's where the hammer drops, Dennis.
Uh-oh. The
key to achieving our goals or our perfect average day is going to begin with having a particular level of income. We don't want to have to talk about money, but we got to be realistic.
So realistically, regardless of what kind of lifestyle you're looking for, or regardless of what kind of volunteer work you're looking for, you need to figure out a way to live and survive. And the more things you want to do in life, unfortunately, probably the more money they're going to cost. So we like to sort of say that, look, all your goals and dreams become possible if you can find a way to make the required level of income to do that. And that, to me, is where MLM, HourADay, and the LinkedIn system come into play. This is the vehicle to help you get that standard of living that's required to follow your roadmap to all your goals.
Well, it's true. And depending on what your goals are, and what your perfect average day is, there's going to be a certain level of income you're going to need to be able to get that. And you can reverse engineer it. And we've done that on a lot of our trainings. We've showed you how to reverse engineer what you need to do on a daily basis in order to be able to achieve your goals.
General rule of thumb with the LinkedIn system, we broke it down to saying that if you put 10 contacts into the LinkedIn system every day, which is going to take you under 10 minutes, closer to 5 with some of our latest improvements.
Oh, and these latest improvements, if you're doing it, folks, oh my goodness, you got to jump on there. And it's a breeze.
I love the first name, last name. So now you just copy the whole LinkedIn first name and last name. You drop it into one field, and by the time you put your cursor into the first name, it's cut it in half for you and divided it all up. So it's one paste instead of a whole bunch of cut and paste. Oh, it's just neat.
Yeah, it literally was taking me, when I first started doing the LinkedIn system, it took me about 15 to 20 minutes the first time to get my 10 people in, because I didn't know what I was doing. And I was kind of bubbling around a little bit.
And the system had some refreshes and some things that weren't LinkedIn specific. So HourADay evolved.
Yeah, and then I got it down to about 10 minutes, about a minute a person. Now I can actually tell you it's about 5 minutes.
Tell your downline 10.
So
when they finished early, it'll be an accomplishment.
That's 5 minutes.
That's right.
That's it. That's a secret. Three little secrets. 5 minutes. 5 really? Not there. Who doesn't have 5 minutes every 10 minutes?
And we rolled the numbers out. We said if you did 10 LinkedIn connections a day, properly following the system, respectfully making friends, within about 60 days, you should start to see a couple of distributors and a couple of retail customers joining your business on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
That's basically what it came down to. So if we said that if one of them's going to do the LinkedIn system and do the same thing, then we get the whole leverage and duplication thing that shows you 4,095 people at the end of the year and 75% wrong. What if you had 1,000 people at the end of the year? Well, 1,000 people on auto ship in most MLM companies, for most people, is going to generate you about $100,000 a year. I'd hazard a guess that for a lot of people, $100,000 a year would probably clean up an awful lot of their list. But what if you want to make more? Then keep doing it, because your income will keep growing as long as you keep doing your 10 minutes a day of new prospecting. So that then you have whatever time it takes to follow up and train and teach your this will end up being a full-time job. How much do you want to make? It doesn't stay an hour a day if you're looking to make $100,000 a year.
No.
It's going to take longer than that at that income level, but you won't have to still have your other job. So it should all work out.
And we've got a whole bunch of people that are doing it from different companies and having a lot of fun. And I know in my company, we put a challenge out there for it. It's amazing when you add a little challenge. You can do this with your team. If your company doesn't do it, look at it as being a team leader and put a challenge
together.
How many people can you connect with on a weekly basis and get out there, have fun and recognition?
The key, if you're going to do a challenge with your team, and this is sort of digressing from goals, but I guess it isn't, because this is a way to help you enable getting to your goals. But one of the coolest things I was involved in, I was with a company that had a weekly challenge that the members did within the members, and you paid $25 or something to get into it. So you made your team, and then your team competed against your upline's other teams, or your upline's uplines, or sometimes it was whole corporate wide. Everyone's putting in $25 to play. And then the winner gets prizes like free convention tickets, or, doodads and gifts, or swagware, or whatever. Sometimes really, really nice gifts. The more people that came to play, the bigger the top prize was. But what impressed me so much about it, and why I think you would be great to do it with your team, is it wasn't just rewarding enrollments. It was rewarding people for doing the things that would lead to an enrollment.
Right.
That's where HourADay comes in. You can see how many connections they added on LinkedIn, how many notes they created. There's a bunch of metrics that you could use to run your contest.
And what you don't see is what it creates, the environment it creates for you and your team. Because now if you teach them to do their 10 minutes every morning when they get up, now they get in the right mindset. We talked about mindset earlier. Now in the right mindset, you're thinking about, you've got some positive responses from the night before. Yeah. It doesn't happen right away, but as you've been doing it for a number of weeks
and you wake up to happy news.
And people saying, yes, I'd like to get some more information. And you're going to get people, I'm not interested.
People actually tell you they want to get more information when they know it's MLM, Craig.
Yeah, every single day. That's why I like to have the LinkedIn app on my phone, because when it's on my phone, I get a notification, boom, as soon as somebody sends me a message, and I'd like some more information.
But hang on. So you went and found random people on LinkedIn. You respectfully approached them. Yeah. You didn't hide that it was MLM.
No.
And they actually asked you for more information, Craig? You got to be lying.
Out of the 300 people, if you do 10 a day, it's really simple. About 100 of those 300, somewhere in that range, and as you get more connections, that number will go up, actually accept your connection. So I'm actually failing by 67% to 70%. I'm failing by.
You're a 2/3 failure.
I'm only batting 300. That's it. Professional baseball, if you got about 300 batting average.
Hang on. Did you really just ask me a question about
baseball?
sports?
Yeah, sorry. Everybody out there, you know, about 300 in baseball, you're doing pretty good. You're hitting 3 out of 10. Even you know that if you hit 3 out of 10 baseballs, you're doing good.
Well, to me, 3 out of 10 is 0.3, so I'm completely lost. Oh, we must be talking basis points. Okay, I got it.
So if you think about that, out of every 300 people you connect with, you're failing. More than half the people are not going to say.
But you have 100 people that said, yes, I might be interested in learning more about you and what you do.
Exactly.
Maybe
that's
maybe
100
not.
yeses. That's 100
but it's not
exceptions.
enough.
But it's 100 people that have accepted your connection. That's 100 little yum-yums,
And
little wins.
Some of them might turn into forever maybes, but your job is to make sure that doesn't happen. But now you've got 100 people that you are still putting through a process. And as you put them through the process,
you know what? Half of the ones I put in the process, they don't do anything. The whole month that I've set them up for the process, they don't even respond to me.
Oh my goodness. So now we're 2/3 or 3/5 of a quarter.
Yeah. And out of the ones that do respond, and then I only typically out of those 50 that are left, I may only send out that actually get in a conversation about 10, 12.
So you put in 300. Half of them, 2/3 of them went away, and then half of the others went away. And in the end, you ended up with 10 conversations.
Yeah, but guess what? Out of those 10 conversations, I got I'm going to get one or two
retail customers and 1 or 2 distributors.
That's what you get. That's it.
And as you get better at the business, you may do better than that. But as long as you're doing 3-way call follow-ups and all of the things that we teach, this should be the outcome, regardless of your company, regardless of your products, because you were interested in MLM, so why won't there be other people when you're talking to them that might be?
And how much time did we say? Was it 10
minutes a day? 5, if we tell you the truth.
Now there's a little bit more work you got to do at the end of the day as you start going through the process of putting more and more people. And I can see some people that are joining us here on Webinar Jam that's using it, and I'll single you out, Sunshine. She's using the system. And we can see the results.
Yep.
And it's a lot more work in month 2 than it was in month 1.
And it's a lot more learning in month 2, because in month 2 you start having to hone your skills. But you hone your skills by getting your upline on the phone with people and listening to what they have to say by making the introduction. So it's when the learning starts really big is month 2.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're doing it right with a 3-way call and your upline's competent, you should start seeing enrollments. You should start making a little bit of money. We didn't say you're making $10,000 in your first month or your second month. You might make $100 in your second month with this system. You might make $300. It depends on your comp plan, depends what you're selling, but it's not going to be rich.
Nope. You just want to do a little bit of effort consistently, because you can teach this. It's an easy system to duplicate. It's easy to go and just point them to the HourADay. It's all there. We literally walk you through how to set up a LinkedIn account, how to set up your HourADay account, how the two of them work together in order to be able to to make this thing happen. It's not difficult work to do.
Right.
You just need to make sure that you do it.
Right.
And
so once you've got your goals, and from your goals you can start to estimate the kind of income you need to support your goals, then you can start to take a look at 10 minutes a day should get you within, let's say you really suck and it takes you, like me, 3 years to get to 100 grand a year. If it takes you 3 years to get to 100 grand a year because you're slower than the LinkedIn system seems to be proving out to be, is that a bad thing? And furthermore, if you need $500,000 a year to live the lifestyle or to have all of your goals accomplished, then you can just consider how much longer you need to continue to work the system.
Right.
Right? So it just becomes a mathematical formula to achieve all your dreams. But none of this happens without you learning your skills, removing your obstacles, getting better at things, putting in the time of doing the right things. You know, funny thing, Craig, did you know that no matter how good a baker you are, that you cannot make a chocolate cake with a vanilla recipe? You got to make sure that you're doing the right things to make your business work. Because if you keep doing things that don't work and you expect it to work, you're trying to make a chocolate cake with a vanilla recipe.
Well, what were we told by our mentor? What were we doing wrong? We were not copying successful people. To be successful in network marketing and MLM.
No, I was doing my own way.
I know. Well, so was I. We tried. You know, we didn't want to,
failing forward. I should have just listened. I would have got there so much.
But and that's what Greg told us. You need to copy people and get yourself surrounded by people that are better than you.
That's right.
You know, and I went copying. That's easy. That's how I got through high school.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you copy, you didn't copy the dummy.
No, that's right.
You didn't copy the guy that was failing. You copied the guy that was getting straight A's. So why wouldn't you do that in business?
You copied the person closest to you that you could see that you thought was doing better than everyone else. It's a relative thing when it comes to copy. So surround yourself. See, even in high school, you surround yourself with all the guys that get A's. It's easier to copy.
There you go. So
no, we're not advocating cheating in high school.
So you know what? It's a fun business. You know, we hope you enjoy our weekly little rants, and we hope you get something out of it. You know, today we thought it would just be back to the basics and start dreaming again, because you're in this business, you know, for a reason. And you've got to know why you're spending that extra hour a day and sometimes evenings and weekends to, you know, doing a system, you know, like the LinkedIn system that we teach. And why am I doing this? Now, we're not charging you to do it. This is the cool thing. Dennis,
HourADay is free.
You made it free.
Up to 2,000 communications a month. So if you can't be making considerably more than the $30 a month it'll cost you when you're over 2,000 communications a month, we wouldn't expect you to pay for it.
No.
Now, the number one key to these goals, once you have them all and you've knocked off all the ones that aren't as important as you thought they were, and you've come up with the master list that's sequenced and it's ordered and it's beautiful, is to go and read those goals aloud to yourself in front of the mirror every day. I did this exercise when I was about 26, I guess, when I found MLM. And I wrote down them all, and I can remember one of them was to walk on the Great Wall of China, which I ended up doing by accident. So it was really interesting. I ended up
Were you drunk and you accidentally walked on the Great Wall? Is that?
Well, I didn't plan to go to China to walk on the Great Wall. I ended up getting called to China, and it just so happened that I was called to Beijing, where the Great Wall was close to, and my gracious hosts thought that I'd probably want to walk on the Great Wall. So I didn't plan it at all. It just sort of happened. But the key is, I wrote down all my goals, and literally by the time I was about 35, I had to go remake a goals list, because almost like by magic, everything on my list had become accomplished. It was really quite bizarre. The only thing I couldn't do was my mom wanted a T-Bird. She wanted I guess it's a Ford Thunderbird car, like 1967. This was her dream car. And by the time I could afford to give her that gift, she was too old to handle the Armstrong steering. So it was one of the goals that I couldn't accomplish just because things beyond my control stopped them. But everything else had been accomplished. Places I wanted to go, things I wanted to do, my Christmas card list, you know, the people that I'd helped take money. It was just wild. So do this. And the key is every day out loud in front of the mirror will make these things real, because your brain will believe what it hears more than what you think. More than what you think it to think.
It does. Say it out loud. You know what? You can make your reality, right? Words, you know, what you say out loud will become your reality. Just don't quit. The only way you can ever lose in network marketing is to quit. It's the only way.
You got to keep learning. You got to recognize that if you're failing, it's you. It's not your company. It's not your commission plan. You don't have the skills, and you need to go find them.
And that's okay. We're here to help you get them. If you haven't found them, we're here to help every single week. We're going to be here, help build it. You can reach out to us individually. You can get us on Facebook as we're live there. You can get us through the HourADay or on our personal Facebook accounts. You can find us on LinkedIn, you can find us on Google.
If you're super worried about failure, from right now, start failing forward.
There you go.
It's okay to fail.
It is. Forward. All right. Those are a good thing. So everybody, thanks for joining us again. I'm Craig Peloquin.
And I'm Dennis Wilson.
And we hope you learned something. We'll see you here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's it.
Okay.
Bye for now.